What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Great clap today. We have the Soviet Arms Krink chambered in 5.56 from the good folks at Palmetto State Armory. What we're going to do is talk about the different variations of this rifle, the features of this pistol, they talk about the testing because it's a lot of fun to shoot this little gun, and then you can subscribe to my channel and go ahead and carry upon your day. So right now, there's about a dozen-ish different versions of this pistol available on the PSA website. The only one that really matters is right now they have a limited edition gold and plum furniture. It is the coolest little baby AK-74 I have ever seen. That is the only one you need to buy. Don't worry about the rest of them. You can get it with or without the brace, however you want to set it up. As far as furniture, they have black, they have plum, they have voodoo. This here has a JMAC rail. I liked the JMAC rail because JMAC makes some good stuff. I wanted a pick rail, I wanted a spot for a sling, I wanted M-lock, so that's why I went with this particular one. As far as calibers, you can get it in 5.56. Again, this one here is 5.56. You can get it 300 black, and if you are going to suppress it, first off, this makes a great suppressor host. And a 300 black would be a great choice if you are going to suppress it. And then it's also available in 5.45. That is the original caliber that these were designed in, is 5.45, if that's something you want. All right, starting at the back, the brace is a standard triangle folding brace. So it works okay as a brace. It has a strap if that's how you want to work it. Again, just a quick push up on the brace and you can fold it. So if you want to use it as a backpack gun or a truck gun or anything like that, you can do so. It screws into a picatinny rail. So if you don't like this brace and you have one you want to use, that is not a problem. Any pick rail will work. And then you can also take this pick rail off, and if you look on the back here, there's the latch for the stock. So if you want to SBR it, or just go ahead and do it anyway, you can put a stock on here, and this would be a very cool little SBR suppressed with a stock. That would be a awesome setup. And in the front here, you also have the latch as well. So if you get the stock, it will latch shut. So all pretty cool stuff. The grip is a Soviet Arms style grip. The shape is fine. It feels good in my hand. It is a little on the slick side, so I think after this review I'm going to put some grip tape or some skateboard tape or something on here just to make it a little bit rougher. The trigger is an ALG trigger. It's an AMT enhanced trigger, if you ever felt one of those before, and it's definitely better than most standard AK triggers. Is it as nice as the nicest AR trigger out there? No, but it is good for an AK trigger. And we are going to take a break here in just a second, but it doesn't have a super crisp wall. Like the second you stop pulling, you go right into the break, and then the reset is very respectable. Before we get up close and personal with the trigger, I want to quickly thank I gotta be careful how I say this now. I want to thank Gideon Optics. They are supporting this video, and I greatly appreciate it. There happens to be a Gideon red dot on this little Krink here. Gideon makes very budget-friendly red dots, rifle optics. They have a bunch of different sizes, but the one thing I want to stress is they're good quality and they're very budget-friendly, so you get a very high value. There's a discount code for Gideon Optics as well. That code is Tiberious. I believe it saves you 10%. What you see on here, by the way, is the Gideon Judge XL. It's an RMSC footprint and a really big window, but they have a bunch of different red dots. Anyway, thank you to Gideon. Let's get up close and personal with this trigger, and then we can continue on. All right, let's move on to the safety. It is fairly smooth for an AK around this price. It is extended and it's very easy to manipulate that safety. It does have that little full auto location in the middle there, which kind of makes me happy, but then it doesn't actually shoot full auto, and that kind of makes me sad, but oh well. On the other side, you do have your accessory rail. I didn't go with the accessory rail because when we take this apart, you'll see that the dust cover is hinged, and every time you take that dust cover off, you have to take your rail off. That's why I got the handguard. Anyway, move on to the magazine release. It's a standard paddle style magazine release. It's small, it's not extended, pretty standard. No problems dropping the magazines. What can be a little bit tougher with the 5.56 magazine, especially if you're like me and you don't have a ton of experience with 5.56 magazines, is getting that magazine inserted into the gun. It's a little bit, see, there you go. It's a little bit harder than, here we go, than a 7.62 by 39 if you're like me, if you're used to it. You kind of have to put the magazine in a little before you lock it in place, but with a little bit of practice, it's no big deal. When we get to the testing, you will see me struggle with it a little bit. Anyway, magazine that comes with it is a PSA brand mag. It has been good. They take standard 5.56 AK magazines. I read a few people online having problems with them, but there was only a couple. It was not a lot at all. I did also try this quarter circle 10 magazine. Quarter circle 10 makes some of the best 5.56 AK mags out there. They are not cheap, but they are very, very good. All right, the receiver on this guy is stamped steel. The nice thing is the front trunnion, the bolt, and the carrier, those are all hammer forged. So I think the durability on this gun is going to be very, very good. Charging handle seems pretty straightforward, pretty smooth for a gun of this price. No problems there. The sights are adjustable, has a basic set of iron sights. Not only is the rear adjustable, the front is adjustable as well for both. You can do windage and elevation. As I said, the version I have has that JMAC custom rail. I went with that one because one, obviously I like the way it looks. It gives it kind of like a tactical, urban kind of modern AK. More important, you have M-LOK on both sides. You have M-LOK on the bottom. You have a QD slot. You have a pick rail up top. What I added was a Gideon red dot. I believe this red dot's been on here the entire time. I don't know if I had anything else on there, I don't remember. But you can add whatever optic red dot that you want on top. The barrel underneath that handguard is a huge 8.4 inch barrel. So it's very short, and we will talk about ballistics in 5.56 and 8-inch barrel here in just a second. The material is 4150. It's a 1 in 7 twist, a nitride finish, and let me tell you, it is a fire breather. If you're shooting this, you can even see it during the day, but if you're shooting this in lower light conditions, fireballs. It's so fun to shoot, but not the lowest signature if you're shooting this at night or from some weird reason, night vision or anything like that, not. So I'll leave it at that. We'll talk about the rest. Above the barrel, obviously, is the gas system that makes the action work. Pretty standard there. In front of that, you do have your muzzle device. It is a Krink booster, and this is to make sure the gun runs reliable and get enough back pressure in there. And if you don't know, you just push the little detent down and it unscrews right off. The threads is that M24 by 1.5 right-hand thread, whatever it is. I may be saying it wrong. Again, very easy to direct mount a can on here. There's some cans made for it. This would be a great suppressor host if you want to go down that road, and it flings the brass. The brass flies when you shoot it. It is crazy. We will take this down just for basic maintenance and cleaning as always. This is allowed per your rules, YouTube. You push in the little dust cover detent, which won't go in. There we go. As I mentioned already, the dust cover is hinged. We're going to pull out the guide rod and recoil spring. Obviously it's captured, as you can see. We turn the safety off, and then our bolt and carrier. Now I'm going to do a close-up on this for a few seconds. I have 600 rounds on this gun so far, and I want to go nice and slow so all of you AK geeks and AK experts who are much smarter than me can get a nice close-up and look at the wear patterns and see if anything sticks out or is alarming on the carrier or the bolt. Please drop it down in the comments. I am average knowledge when it comes to AKs, so you AK geeks out there who take this way more serious than you probably should, feel free to look at a nice close-up. Again, it's hammer forged, and you can tell me what you think so far. All right. We are going to talk about testing, and buckle up because it's a fun one to shoot. The first thing I did was shoot some brass and some steel case ammo. Even though this shoots 5.56, it is still an AK and it still needs to run both brass and steel casing, which it did no problem. In total, I have somewhere around 600 or 700 rounds. It was one of those guns, as I mentioned, it was so fun to shoot at the range that, yeah, I'll put a mag or two through it, and then all of a sudden I have a couple empty boxes of ammo because I shot it so much. It's just a ton of fun. I did a lot of shooting with the brace open and the brace collapsed just to make sure that wouldn't cause any problem. Not that I thought it would at all, and it did not. I put two different optics on here looking back through my videos. The only time I bench rested it was to sight in those optics, and when I did, I would sight it in at 50 yards, get some shots out to 100, all good there. transitioned over to a barricade. When I was doing barricade shooting, I was doing some transitions, and the farthest I was able to shoot this was 200 yards with the red dot. And with me and my eyes, I'm more than happy. Somebody with a little more skills and definitely better eyesight could probably stretch it out a little further, but again, it's only an 8-inch barrel in 5.56, and that's not the best combo for ballistics. The rest of the time we did a lot of transitions, shooting from multiple positions like standing, shooting, and then kneeling, shooting, and sitting, and all that type of stuff. And it was funny, as I looked through all the videos, I got this gun back in March, and I'm doing the video here in June, and it's amazing to see how dead everything looked in March, then all of a sudden, boom, it's June, and everything is green and alive and beautiful and warm, and it's just everything looks extremely good. All right, so through all that testing, the day I got it, I lubed it up. And that's the only time I lubed it up and cleaned it. I didn't do it any other time at the 600 rounds. Lubed it up, put the carrier back in, went to the range, shot all those 600-700 rounds, and we had zero malfunctions, zero problems, zero issues. It was 100% smooth and reliable the entire time. The biggest pro for me is gonna be how fun of a gun these are. If you've ever shot a little baby AK, they are just a blast to shoot, especially if you get a chance to shoot one in full auto. That's even more fun. The second thing I want to mention is going to be the value. PSA always brings a very, very high value. The quality of their AKs have come a very, very long way, and the value is there. And they're coming out with so many cool, like they're teasing a 2011, and there's so many other cool things. I like the variety of the different furniture and the different options and the different features, the different colors, the different calibers. I like how easily you can put a stock on here if you want to SBR it, how easily you can put a suppressor on here, the forged components. ALG trigger is good, lots of good stuff to talk about. I don't have any cons, but what I want to stress, if you're getting any 5.56 barrel gun, especially a really small AK, don't expect it to be a half MOA gun or being able to shoot it at 1,000 yards. It's not what it's designed for. Anytime you go below like 10.5 inches with a 5.56, you lose a lot ballistically. It's still more than capable of being a great truck gun, home gun, self-defense gun, backpack gun, any of that stuff being such a short barrel with a folding stock. I would absolutely use it for any of those things. Just know you're not going to be able to reach out as far with an 8-inch barrel as you would a 10 or an 11 or a 12.5-inch barrel, especially if you have like a 12.5-inch barrel with a low power variable optic or something like that. That would be a little more capable. But if you're looking for a fun gun or something for, you know, I would probably say 200 yards and in for the average shooter, then this is definitely a great option. And this is something I will be keeping and using and shooting. And yeah, when I finally get out of Rhode Island here soon, I'll probably SBR it as well and throw a suppressor on it, and that would be fantastic. Anyway, thank you again to PSA. PSA has been supporting this channel a lot over the past few years, and I greatly appreciate it. The supporter of the video is Gideon. Thank you to Gideon, who's also a wonderful supporter of the channel. If you want any good quality budget optics, the code for them is Tiberious. Now, most important, before you leave, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I need you to do it. We have a long way to go to get to 100,000 subscribers, and the year is about half over. So please stop what you're doing. Sub, you can like and comment. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Be good and stay blessed.